Hey guys, how's everybody doing? Just wanted to say that I'm back and that I don't know what rumors going on out there, but I'm single. I don't give a shit what anybody says. I don't even know why I'm even answering that. But I'm tired of people speculating and assuming just because I have friends that I have a couple of male friends that I hang out with. You know, I'm not from Des Moines, and so I don't know a lot of people here. And the only reason I'm explaining this is because everybody keeps assuming just because I hang out with a guy that I'm dating him or I'm going out with him or I'm sleeping with him. It's bullshit. I'm not with anybody. I talk to people because they're home. You know, these people are homeless, and it's like I just talk to them because I know them. We go out to eat at the same places. You know, like just right now we hang out, like that, but it's nothing like that. I'm not trying to be mean towards him either. He's a nice person, but I've basically made it clear, that right now I'm healing. I'm in that mode, and honestly, I'm happy in that mode. I'm kind of glad that the other person decided to, hold off or had needed some healing to do because in reality, I had only been out of a relationship 3 months, so I don't know what I was thinking, but I needed healing, and I still need healing. Now, do I need years? No, but I don't know how much time I need. I just know that I'm just barely starting to feel a little bit like myself. I'm just starting to feel like the old Lorraine that back in the day, that when I had my freedom and wasn't all tensed and all nervous and walking on eggshells. I can actually talk to people without being accused of flirting or being too obvious with my eyes. Something about my eyes. He would always think that I was do not give eye contact. How can you not give eye to eye contact to somebody? I was raised that it's rude if you don't give eye to eye contact. Oh, or they're gonna hypnotize you, or they're gonna mesmerize you, and they're gonna make you fall in love with them, or you're gonna get uh, spell love bomb, or I don't know what the crap. I didn't believe it. Maybe the reason I yawn a lot is because I'm usually more up at night than during the day. I don't trust some of these motherfuckers, these young kids around here, try to think they're funny, real cute, trying to steal your shit and stuff like that. So I gotta be on guard at night. So that's why I'm usually really tired during the day. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Yeah, I'm single and I have nothing to hide and I have no reason to lie. So if anybody wants to know the truth, I suggest they ask me themselves, and stop listening to these haters out there that are trying to project me to be a whore or like fucking like I'm with somebody. Like somebody's always spying on him, and I'm actually tired of it. I'm really sick and tired of it. To the point where I don't know, I might be taking a road trip somewhere, visiting somebody to make it clearer. Because I don't mess with anybody. I don't really get into nobody's business. Even the person that I was interested at that one time, I didn't really get into his business. I would check up on him to see how he's doing and stuff like that. And that's another thing I need to make clear. The other person that everybody thinks that we had a relationship, that everybody keeps calling him my twin flame. Honestly, I've never met the guy in person. And if we have, then I don't remember. And it had to be years ago because he's much younger than I am. I guess he knows my family, my sisters are. We used to have parties and we owned a bar like 15 years ago. So I don't know if he knows me from there or if he even knows me. Because right now my memory, I don't know. I do not recognize him. Um, I don't know him. And if I did know him, oh, I apologize. I apologize for. I'm not trying to be rude or nothing. But just to let people know too, and to make it clear, I have never been in physical contact with him ever. The Emperor. I've never seen him that I know, seen him in person. We've never held hands. We've never kissed. We've never done anything. I just liked him from watching him on the internet. I kind of developed a little crush on him. I didn't know that all this fucking drama came along with it. You know what I mean? I just thought he was kind of cute and stuff like that. And I was more surprised because, but I know why now. I'm not that dumb now. I mean, you guys fooled me there for a while. Some of you tarot card readers. I might be a little slow in the beginning, but once I catch on, watch out. Because things get repeated to me, like, oh, things that I'm doing at the moment or at the time, or or sitting with somebody. Things are told to me. I mean, they're so I don't. I mean, I get mad at the time, but I hear these women laughing. Like they're hacking when they're fucking saying the shit to me, talking shit to me. I get it. I'm not dumb. I get when they're talking their shit to me. It's funny, yeah, it's funny. But sometimes I get annoyed because then I feel like I have no privacy. Because how would they like it if I could hear everything that they're doing? Everything they're saying, everything. It's like there's no freedom. It's like we lost the point of living free in the United States. And, that's why they invented the internet. The whole reason they invented the internet was to basically be able to keep track of everybody's phones. It's the easiest way for the government to keep track of everybody and anybody. Catch conversations, they can monitor. Once they hear a word spoken, like I guess that maybe it turns the microphones turn on when they hear the words drugs or terrorist or some shit. Your phone automatically just turns on the light and goes from sleep mode to fucking active. I noticed that shit quite a few times. Plus, they're constantly on my phone. I can't even type or do shit, and they start messing with the. I don't know if it's they're speaking to the phone, to my microphone to do the actions that they're doing, because it gets to the point where I can't type or text or anything, so I get really frustrated and I want to break the phone half the time. But I don't want to give them the satisfaction that they're upsetting me, that they get to me, because the only thing I really have is the phone and the internet. I really don't socialize with a lot of people. I don't hang out with a lot of people. I'm basically on the internet surfing shit, looking up shit, listening to music, being nosy on the tarot card readers. Other than that, that's like, you know, um, it just sucks. I wonder if there's ever going to be a time. Sorry. I wonder if there's going to be a time where I can go back to being a normal person before the day that I called the FBI to tell them that I felt like I was going to be kidnapped or sex trafficked or they were coming for my organs. Ever since that day, which to me has been, they say they've been watching longer, but probably my family have been watching because they're so fucking shady. But from what I remember the most is about 5 or 6 years that they've monitored my phone and monitored my life, and I know that they have. I've known from the very beginning that they have. I would tell my ex this shit, and he wouldn't believe me. But I mean, I know because he was probably part of some bullshit himself. Like I was in a circle of fucking betrayers, like seriously betrayers. I mean, I couldn't get the fucking truth out of any of the motherfucking people that I hung out with. I mean, I look back to it, it's funny now, but at the time I wanted to just fucking strangle all these people because they were lying to me constantly. People were lying to me all the time. You know what I mean? It got to the point where I started just disliking human beings, especially females. I'm like, oh my god, because when they would come around, I was like, since I'm a Scorpio, let me make that clear too. I'm a Scorpio, born the day before Halloween, almost a witch, not a witch. People might want to call me a witch, but I ain't no witch. I don't do spells, I don't do curses and shit like that. I might curse you out and shit. I might get you in spiritual realm, but I ain't no witch. Yeah, my birthday's coming. Usually I party the whole freaking month of October. It's my Oktoberfest. But I haven't been like that in years. So, because you know why? Because I don't afford to turn another fucking year. That's why. It's true. Once you get after 40, you don't care about the fucking year. Like how old you're gonna be and shit. It sucks, but it is what it is. Um, so yeah, I want to make those statements clear because sometimes I hear people talking at the tarot card readers, and like they say, if the shoe don't fit, don't assume it's for you. Well, right, but just to make it clear, just in case it is. If it's not, that's cool. If it's not, but if it is, let me just tell you that I've been single for a while. I haven't had no sex. I think I'm way overdue for that. But I don't try to think about it. I try not to. Every once in a while, don't get me wrong, I get that little urge that pops in here and there. I mean, I'm a female. What can I say? I'm in my 50s. I'm supposed to be at my prime time, right? Anyways, enough of that. Yeah, I've been keeping to myself because honestly, there's not a lot of attractive homeless men, and it's not like my thing to be hitting on all the homeless guys. Come on, man. I'm trying to, not that I think I'm better, not that I think that they're bad. It's just that I have not yet met somebody that I don't get bored with or that doesn't get on my nerves. You know, if there was a really smart homeless guy that caught my attention that was cool as shit, well, hell yeah, it wouldn't be. It's not even about the money to me. But some of these guys don't bathe. You know, some of these people don't brush their teeth. I mean, there's all these little. I hate to say it like that, but I do care about personal hygiene, big time. Just because I'm homeless or whatever, don't mean that you have to look homeless. There's places that let you shower every day, so there's no reason for it. And plus, some of these places supply you clean, new clothes, you know, stuff like that. So honestly, you have no reason to look the part. If you look the part and smell the part, that's because you chose it. You know what I mean? You want to be like that. I don't. I mean, I don't mind the way life is, but I know this life is just temporary for me. This is fucking temporary. You know, I'm like ready to get out of this little fucking phase. You know, and if it's something that I have to do when I go to somewhere else, it's not really up to me. It's up to God. But I am complaining to Him that I'd like to be able to have a little house. It can be just a little small little apartment, a studio, man, one fucking room, to where I can just shower and stuff like that. You know, I'm tired of suffering, and not that I'm suffering, but now that people have made it clear to me, when they took my identity and my social security number and shit like that, I applied at different places and a lot of jobs, and nobody would call me back. Now, these were the things that I thought, well, either the government, which one of these agencies, FBI, DEA, ATF, whatever, or FBI, whatever, either they were blocking it on purpose, you know, like the corrupted ones or whatever, wanted to see me suffer and shit, wanted me to fucking break down to the point where just break down, commit suicide, or just give up on life because nobody would call me back. I couldn't get a job. That's the honest truth. I've been trying and trying. I'm gonna try again, and hopefully. But I didn't know that all this identity fraud thing, this life insurance, this money laundering shit that was in my name. I didn't know that. Oh, sorry, my eye is fucking itching so bad. Somebody's looking at me. Somebody trying to give me the evil eye, motherfuckers. Back to you. Anyways, so it's not that I don't like to work. I was doing construction work. I know how to do drywall, and I like to do physical labor. I like working in warehouses. I like working at factory plants. I like working assembly lines. I like to be constantly busy because I'm hyper. Naturally, I have got all that energy. I got Red Bull energy. So I have to keep myself going because my mind is constantly going through so many things. And it's just a way of keeping me out of trouble. Let's just put it that way. You know, because I'll start manifesting some things, you know? And I got to control it. So I just want a part-time job or something. I don't know. And if something happens to where I don't ever have to work again in my life, I do want to devote myself and volunteer into something, man. Peace Corps. I don't know. I'm into children. I want to help orphan kids that are neglected by drug addicts, people that are from sex trafficking. I would like to invest in that. Stop that shit. Sex trafficking, human trafficking, child abduction, all that shit, you know. I'm against that shit, big time. So the fact that my family would even be involved in that shit is fucking, man. If it would have been me 5 years ago, I would have converted my brother and probably would have. I would have really wanted to hurt my brother back in that time. But now that I'm at a different point in my life, God's gonna handle that shit, you know. And I don't know why he's always been that way, but he was always had some problems with in that department. I don't even like to talk about it, but you know, because I remember one time that I was gonna take. We grew up in a small house, and this is when I knew my brother was a pervert. Okay, now we have the same mother, different fathers. Okay, and he was the only boy. You little asshole. Anyways, he was a brat. He was my mother's favorite. He was the apple of her eye, right? He could do no wrong. He was smart as hell too. Okay, the guy was intelligent, but he used it. He was an accountant. He could run his own business, but I don't know why he always liked to do bad things. Like he constantly. It's like this. Money with him is in a serious obsession to where he can't control himself. He's not just happy. He wouldn't even be happy just making 100,000, 200,000 a month. You know, it would never be enough for him. He's always got to be the top person. He's got to have this status, this image. It's just bullshit. Me and him clashed all the time. I tried to beat him up when I was a teenager. Of course, he pushed me down pretty hard, and then when he had that girl choke me, my mom came, resuscitated me. We just always had that rival, right? But I really got really angry when I found out after my son grew up that my son told me that this is what he had done when he was trying to give him a ride. He took my son one summer because he's going to travel through, and he was going to go visit my mother, and my mom wanted her grandson. And so since he was going to pass through from Texas to Iowa, he said he would take him, for the ride. And at the time, I was always around, so they got along good. He always bought him things, and I didn't see anything weird about it. I didn't notice that he was like that around my son. I realized it later after my son turned 16 or 17. He was trying to buy my son gifts all the time. So he bought him like the best paintball guns. They bought him trampolines. He was like buying and just like materialistic to my son. But now I see why. They want him not to say nothing, not to it was like a paying him to keep up his mouth shut. So one day I'm gonna go back. I was like 12 years old. I noticed when I was going to take a shower, when I started like developing at 12 or 13, when you start noticing things are growing around on your body. We had one bathroom and there was like 9 of us in this house, right? We were kind of poor, but we always had food. We always had our bills paid. We always had clothes, not the best clothes and not the name brand stuff. But my father did whatever he could to provide with a 3rd grade education, and my mom was the housewife. So, anyways, back to the story. I'm going side. It's because I go back into these memories, man. It's a trip that I live this life. So, I noticed just this little fucking hole, like this big, like, can you see my hand? I don't know if I can do it right. This little circle was like on the door, and I was like, what is that? And it was exactly like level to like underneath your belly button, like, it was even where you stand, and like you can get on your knees and peek through the fucking hole, and see. And so I was the only one that was developing it at the time, because my other sisters are like, the next sister after me is 2 years younger than me, so she was too young, and then the other one is 4 years younger than me. So I was the one developing. I was the first sister that he was around that was going to get her period and that her breasts were developing. I was growing, down there, and so I didn't know that he had been spying on me, so kind of like a peeping Tom and shit. One time I got really mad, because I heard him, like, I turned the water on, and then I heard him like bend down or something, like I could hear him propping himself, on the other side of the door. I got so pissed, I put a towel around me. He thought that since the water was still going on, I opened that door and I fucking scared the shit out of him. I told him, don't you ever, I was just so disgusted. I was so disgusted in him, and I was wondering how long had this been happening. You know what I mean? It just grossed me out. That's the first time I realized he was a fucking pervert. So, I have issues with him. I forgive him for things because I have to, but he's not a good person. He's not, unfortunately. So, anyways, that's something he has to deal with. So, anyways, why did I even bring this story up? Darn, I already freaking forgot what I was talking about. Anyways, I appreciate everything that people tell me. I see new people giving me advice on YouTube, about hanging in there and blah, 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 chosen one, and make sure you do your part, and make sure you don't disappoint God, and, and I appreciate all that. Trust me, I do. I am the hardest person on myself. So, you guys, what you tell me is mild compared to how I criticize myself every day, all day long. How I you know what I mean? But I can't be like that. I take it as constructive criticism, and I really appreciate it all. But I got this. You know what I mean? I got this. I'm not trying to fuck it up, and I'm not trying to brag about it, and I'm not trying to think I'm better than anybody. Okay? It's not even like that, man. It's like this is not the easiest life or decisions, every day for me. Every day there's a lot of consequences to any little decision I make, on everyday life and what I say. Sometimes I shouldn't say things that I do say. I apologize for that. I make mistakes too, I make mistakes. I'm learning too, just like you guys are learning. I'm learning day by day. Some of us are quicker to learn things, some of us take longer. And it's okay because Einstein, as intelligent and as brilliant, as genius as he was, he also stated that he had a learning disability to where he just couldn't pick it up really quickly. So it would take him like probably reading something like 100 times before it stuck to his head, stuck to inside, in his brain and his mind, his memory. So saying that, I mean, we all learn at our own level and our own pace, and it doesn't mean that some of us are stupider than the other, dumber or whatever you want to call it. There's all different types of intelligence in the world. Some people have it all. Some people only have one or two. Some people have three or four. But I mean, who cares? Just respect each other. You know what I mean? Just respect each other. And it's not a contest, people. I'm not your enemy. I'm not here to be anybody's enemy. I'm not here for competition. I'm not here to really debate, argue, or even have to explain myself. But I still do because I have nothing to hide. I have nothing to hide. So I'm always going to answer people. I mean, I answer you right away, and I hope I answer you to the point where you understand. Because, like I said, I'll take any kind of criticism and I'll explain anything to somebody, especially when they're wrong. Especially when you're saying things about me that are not true. I will defend myself. That I will do. Especially these relationship things that people are saying. I'm not in no relationship. I have not even looked into anybody. I thought about getting online on these dating things to meet people. Because I'm like, how am I going to meet anybody besides the homeless community? I mean, in Des Moines, I don't know. It's like, I'm not picky, but I am a little shy in a way, about stuff. And I'm kind of old school and old fashioned. So I'm not the type that wants to meet somebody online. You know what I mean? I don't know. There's nothing wrong with it. But like, I think what I don't really care for is men that are on those websites that are constantly just trying to get laid, just trying to get them. So I don't like that type of shit. And I don't think I'm better than anybody. I'm a fucking old lady, man. But I've been around enough to know that